We never really had a goal before about hiring. So we didn't know how to do it, and we didn't have a goal, so we weren't going anywhere. But Justin and I have figured out that if your buyer agents leave, guess who's showing houses? It's us, and we don't want to be that.
Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of the Reside Platform Podcast. I'm your host today, Suneet Agarwal, and today we are meeting with Lucy Ham. Lucy runs the Lucy Ham Group out of Flushing, Michigan, and I'm stoked to talk to her today and learn more about her business and her insights from her success in the industry for many years. Lucy, how's it going?
It's going well. We're getting springtime in Michigan.
Yeah, so that means nice weather and busier market, right?
That's right. Everybody's waking up and wants to get outside and buy something.
Yeah. So tell me about Flushing. Is it a big city, small city?
Flushing is about 30,000 people, suburb of Flint, one of Flint's suburbs. Yep, so about 30,000 people. It's a little historic town. So the building I own and have my office in downtown is built in 1890. That's how historic it is. Yep, the whole town looks like that. There's a bakery across the street that's old as the hills, but super good. So, yep, that's the kind of town it is. Sleepy.
It sounds like a cool place. So let's go to the beginning. So you got started in real estate in 1974. Is that right?
That's correct.
How did you get into it?
You know what? I was assistant to the controller of a corporation, and I was about to have a child, and I was working like 12, 14, 16 hours a day and knew that was not what I wanted to or would be able to do. So I thought maybe real estate would be very flexible hours, not knowing it'd be 24/7 flexible. Yep. So the minute I had our baby, I went from hours at the controller's office from 7 a.m. to 1. In the afternoon, I would be home and I would be doing real estate and taking care of things at home. And so that's really how I got started. And after a year, I would work afternoons. I would have one open house every Saturday, 2 hours. And I had church friends, and that's it because I was new this was in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I was new. That's all the people I knew. So if they walked into my open house, they were mine. That's it. They were mine. And it's amazing how when you only have a couple people, you take really good care of them and you find them stuff fast. So yeah, so nobody slipped through the cracks on that one. But yeah, that was the start of it a long time ago.
Yes. And then you moved to Flushing and started over. And it's interesting, right? Because nowadays, and you hear it all the time, and you're in the same conversations that we're having in Reside, like so much of real estate is like internet and computers and all this stuff, right? So in the 70s, what you guys have, like a Thomas guide?
They had a phone. Well, yeah, a phone and a phone book, phone and phone book, and a multiple listing book that's about 2 inches thick. And you get a sold book once a year. So that sold book was customers would say, "Could I have a Could I have that when you're done?" And we're like, "No," because on the front it said $1,000 fine if you give it away. So it was all phone and paper.
And all the information then was just super gated to real estate agents.
Oh yeah, people could not find out what anything sold for unless they went and sat at the Register of Deeds. They wouldn't know, and they didn't know how to do that. They didn't know how to go find that information. So actually, that was good. It was kind of good.
I didn't know that the information was gated like that.
And it was pretty rare that someone would ask you, like, is this a good price for this community? We didn't have to give them comps. I mean, we did in a way, but we didn't have to give them comps or anything. So, yeah, we're really on our own. You're really on our own.
It had like 70 gigs. All right, for everyone watching and listening, it's super interesting. My Google Chrome just crashed while we were recording, but Lucy and I were talking about um, her business, real estate business, and everything going on in Flushing, starting with no internet and no information. So our no publicly accessible information. Um, so it shows in here that you became the number one agent Our top you became one of the top agents. Were you number 1 in Prudential?
I was number two in Prudential.
Number 2. Okay, number 2 at Prudential. And that's was that for units sold or GCI or what was that?
You know what? It was units sold. hmm
Do you remember how many units it was?
I think it was at the time, I think it was like 140, 125, 140.
So many.
Yeah. And they gave awards for units sold. They gave awards for GCI also. I wasn't GCI because at most of the time in Flint, Michigan, here our average sales price is quite a bit less than most of the world.
Yeah, what year was that where you were number 2?
That would have been 1982, probably 1982, 83, 84, right in there.
How do you sell 140 homes in 9 never heard of anything like that.
You know what? I had no assistance till I was selling about 125 transactions a year on my own because nobody had assistance. It wasn't acceptable. Nobody did that. So I hired somebody to just make copies and order title insurance just at the office. Mm. And so, really, what I find, and so this is not to brag, but what I find is that, so I've been here a long time, as you do the math with 1978, that whatever I do, a lot of other people start doing it. So I got a halftime assistant. People would get an assistant. They would talk, some of them talk bad about it, and then they would go do it. So now they tell me after many years, they like, whatever you did, we did it. And just so if you are successful, they're going to do exactly what you do. And they're watching you. They're watching.
So, for all that business pre-internet, pre-cell phone, it's not even I can't even make sense. You're a phenom, like, make it make sense, Lucy, I don't get it.
I was motivated. I had a husband in college, and then I was single parent for a while, and I was raised on a farm. We were in South Dakota, in the middle of the sticks. There was Indian reservations, and there was us, and we were pretty much off the grid, other than buying sugar and flour. So we worked, we made money, we saved money. That's just what we did. I mean, really, I like to work. I'm not 20 anymore, and I still like to work. So maybe that's odd too.
Yeah. So, like, where did was it were you prospecting a bunch back then, or where did the business come from?
No, I would take floor time probably once a week. I'd take 2, 3 hours of what they called floor time. Remember that? Way back when? Yeah, I would just take calls and people at my church. I mean, really, it was just people I would meet and neighbors and church, and that's about it. That's where I got my business. You really could do a lot of business by just talking to the people in your sphere, your little small sphere, and just being a good person. If they were going to buy or sell, they called me.
Yes, right, operating from principle. How about having charisma and outgoing, right? Like, not there's so many people now who just hide and expect things to fall on their lap, and then they're surprised when it doesn't.
Yeah. And another advantage too. So when we were on the farm, the only thing that happened is people stopped by our house all the time. We always had coffee and dessert. I was always ready 24/7. And we didn't have any strangers. Everybody would stop in at anybody's house they wanted. And so there were no movies and there was nothing. This town had 100 people. They were all Dutch. And there were no movies, there were no entertainment. The only entertainment was church. Church was Sunday morning, Sunday night, Wednesday evening. That's it. And that was our social. So we really were learned as children, like, you visit with people. This is what we do. Families would come over and visit. You play, you visit. It was all one-on-one stuff. And back then, I mean, I look back, it was pretty archaic, but that's what we learned.
Yes, it's so good. It's so good. So now you fast forward and you brought your son, who no doubt has seen you working his entire life, is that right?
Yes, he has from birth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's seen you working, and now he's working alongside you. What was that journey of him, like, getting into the business?
Yeah, so he always wanted to be a geologist, studied dirt and rocks all his life, and he did. Became a geologist at University of Michigan. Did that for 10 years, worked for Schlumberger's, traveled all over the world. And then after 10 years, he called me one day and he said, I just figured out that In 25 years, I'm going to be sitting in my boss's office, making a little more money, doing exactly the same thing. And he had just read that book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Remember that? Is that Kiyosaki? Yeah. He had just read that and he said, you know what? I want to come to work for you. And I was in shock. And so really I said, you know what? I got to think about this. Not that I didn't want him to do that, but so I went back to him and said, you know what? The only way we can do this, I don't know how to teach you. I'm really not a teacher. I just go full speed ahead. You have to have a coach. I had a Mike Ferry coach. He had to get a Mike Ferry coach. You could work for me because I knew they would train him. I mean, he was a people person, project manager as a geologist. So yeah, he does well. He has a different motivation, a different, I don't work 24/7, but I just work until the work's done. He has a little more of a confined schedule, I would say, with his family and his kids and that kind of thing.
So he gives himself a deadline, like a daily deadline.
He does. Yes, he does.
Yeah, and for many people, that having that deadline is, like, enough to, like, get the day wrapped up a little faster, but for others, like, deadline schmedline. If I'm bored and I wanna just go do something for work, I'll just come in here and just do it real fast, and deadlines can happen later.
Yeah. I really most evenings, and my husband will tell you, most evenings I'll take a half hour, 6:30 to 7, 8 to 8:30, and call those people I couldn't find during the day. And you know what? I have no guilt about that because these are people I've been working with, business, and usually I can find them. I know everybody comes home at bedtime. Usually I can find them, and it sets up my next day, really.
Totally, absolutely. I love that, like, the preparation for the next day and having a clear plan, like, that's how you win. When did you get in the Mike Ferry organization, Lucy?
It'd be about 25 years ago. Yep, I'm not being coached by them right now, the last couple years, but yeah, for about 20, 25 years. And I coached for them for 5 or 6 years also. I was in a head-on collision probably 15 years ago, and I'd always thought, "I wanna be a coach." You know how you could always wanna be something? And so I walked away. I was not hurt, and my car was totaled, but I called them and I said, "You know what? I always wanted to be a coach. This is what happened." They said, "Okay, great." So I was a coach for 5 or 6 years, but I realized my business needed me. I don't have tons of people here, so my business needed me. So I went back into just business and just continued. Mhm. Yeah, so it was a good experience.
Absolutely. It's super hard to drive growth in an organization when your time is split.
Yeah,
Ask me how I know.
yeah, I was trying to help other people, like, be whatever they wanted to be, right?
Yes, exactly, exactly. I understand that. So, from being in Mike Ferry organization for so long, at some point you started doing the heavy prospecting, is that right?
Oh, absolutely. It probably being with Mike Ferry, probably a couple of years, I still use my script, whatever that was. Took me a couple of years to actually use his scripts. And to be honest, so this isn't a Mike Ferry advertisement, but when I started using his scripts like cold turkey, I just like read them. And the customer didn't know I was reading them, but I was just reading them. And my return on getting the listing went up like 25% immediately. I took 25% more of the listings I went out on because it was a plan and I didn't sit there for hours. I just like ask the questions, get it done, get it signed. That's what I needed. I needed that.
Yeah, and I think that we already nailed it, right? And that's how we know each other is through coaching, right? Like Mike Ferry organization is great. Tom Ferry is great. Bill Pipes is great. Buffini's great. They're all great. I think we're the best, but hey, but it's all great because you get something to plug into and follow along,
That's right. Absolutely.
right? And I've never been a part of Mike Ferry organization, but I've been to a bunch of events and they changed my life 100%. Right? 100%. It's so cool to see everyone dressed up in suits and all formal, and it's just a good vibe. So, if anyone listening, if you haven't been to a Mike Ferry event, look into what they have them all the time. What's it called? Superstar retreat?
Superstar and production retreat. Yeah.
Yeah, those are in Las Vegas usually these days, I think, right? Because it's an easy drive for Mike.
Or San Diego. Yeah.
Yeah, or San Diego. Just make sure that if you're a man, you wear a suit, and if you're a woman, you have a business formal outfit on also. So now with Justin in the business, how do you two like define the lanes and how do you keep the business from bleeding into family time?
Hmm. Yeah, so he lives in Ann Arbor, an hour away. So he is our Ann Arbor office. However, that's just him. Our main office is in Flushing. So we have lunch together on Fridays. Basically, we have lunch, mom son lunch on Fridays. And first we talk about business, then we talk about whatever. So the family business bleeding time. He always calls me Lucy at work. So at work we're business. So that's not hard. He and I take the listings. When the calls come in, if they don't ask for me or him, I take two, he takes one because my corporation has to pay the bills, right? So that's how we work that. And so over time, you see what his talents are and what my talents are. If I could just list properties all day long, I'd be happy and I would just sign people up all day long. That's me. He is really good at teaching. He's good at confronting. He's good at logic. So he gets paid a stipend per month to do some of the managing because he and I are running the place. And I totally appreciate that because then I could just keep doing what I want to do and make more money.
I love it. Do you know Tim and Margie Moldenauer?
Yes, I do.
How long have you known them for?
I used to coach Margie
Did you?
maybe 10, 15 years or so. I don't know, quite a while.
Yes, because your guys' story is really similar,
Mhm. Mhm.
right? Like, even with Justin calling you Lucy in office, Tim calls Margie in the office. I'm sitting here thinking I'm a Mike Ferry. I was all, I think it's awesome, right? Like, as a dad with 2 kids, like, I don't and I understand what you said, like, especially I'm sure after Justin went to school and had the job, you're all, "Are you sure you wanna throw it away and get into this business?" Right? But did those thoughts ever go through your head?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And you know what we do? We do is so he does a draw. He's on a draw. So when he gets a commission check, we take the draw, but it's a continuity for him. I mean, you know these businesses, you got a lot of money one month and the next month you almost can't make cash flow. So for him it's a little more that way, which is fine with me because I mean it evens out. It doesn't really matter if he gets it this week or next month. But yeah, and it's nice to see the talents come out and really so now I at one time I was about ready to just be done with real estate because I was overwhelmed. I didn't have enough people. And I learned that too late usually. But my coach said, okay, so what would make you excited about real estate again? I said, well, if I could have a week, a month off. He said, okay, by next week, I want you to have 12 weeks vacation planned.
Yep, that's what I would say too. Yep.
So I do take a week, a month off. So when I'm gone, he's here. We cover for each other. He's gone right now for a few days that I'm him. And so that's very helpful. Cat's away, the mice will play. So
Well, you take a week off every month. Do you go anywhere fun?
sometimes it's fun. My daughter and her family's in Dallas. We have a condo on the beach in Florida. Sometimes it's vacation. Last week it was Arizona just for fun. So it's all kinds of different things. Depends. My family's in Omaha. Hmm.
That's great. I need a plan for that one day.
You need a coach that tells you to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. I travel plenty for work, so that box is full, but the idea, like, listen, like, you guys are still selling a ton of houses, and people are listening to this, and you're saying, "Hey, I take a week off every month," right? Like, that's inspirational. So many agents who you ask them when the last time they took a day off, they're all, "Day off?" Like, I don't know what that is. Like, what do you think had to happen for you to do that in your not in running the organization, but in running your personal business?
You know what? I did that because I love to leave town. And when I leave town, I work like a dog the last 4 or 5 days. I mean, like I list so many properties, get everything done, I clear my desk. When I come back, I have to do the same thing, but I get tons of stuff done the week before I go. And I leave and I really don't look back. I mean, the first day, my phone might ring a few times, but I just call my office and tell them to take care of it. But I don't think about it. I don't lose sleep over it. I just leave. And I pray for all this is kind of silly, but I pray for all my customers. They're all going to be fine. They won't miss me. I give it up and then I'm done. Out of here.
What does the support staff look like to support you guys in the business?
hmm We have an office manager, a listing coordinator, a closing manager, and we have two buyer agents. And I do have a part-time person that's helping me get through calling every single person in my database once a quarter. There's 13,000 people in there, but we have 9,000 phone numbers. So
Oh, awesome. And are you the managing broker for the office too?
yeah, Jess and I are both brokers, but I'm the managing broker.
Awesome. So what's the goal for recruiting and growing the business?
So we have learned a lot from Reside, and our goal is to have 6 buyer agents hired by December because we think that if we hire 6, we'll probably have 4 for sure.
Yes. So what's the plan to get those 6 in your small town?
Yeah, well, we hired another one, but it's already out of here. So, but I plan to hire 4 more.
What has been some challenges you've had as you've tried to like bring on these agents?
Yeah, so I had a completely different mindset about hiring. I'd mention it to people once in a while, and I would just think, well, nobody wants to move. That's what my mental's nobody wants to move. So now with Reside, John Sheplak, I mean, Ross, all those, a lot of people do want to move because so Justin and I and our office manager, we make calls to agents and mostly they don't respond to anybody but me. So my office manager says it's me and she does it out of my email or so most of the people that we contact, they're like, well, that is so great. Not right now, but maybe 3 months, maybe there's a maybe about most of them. Most of them are kind of maybe. Yeah, and I would think that most like that would be very rare, but most of them are kind of maybe. So we ask them to come. I ask them to come 30 minutes. Let me just help you grow your business, whether you come with us or not. You teach us. So we have a different mindset this year and a different goal this year. We never really had a goal before about hiring. So we didn't know how to do it and we didn't have a goal. So we weren't going anywhere. But Justin and I have figured out that if your buyer agents leave, guess who's showing houses? It's us. And we don't want to be that.
Yes, yes. And the thing is, like, something tells me that you have a lot of listings. Am I right?
Yeah, we have 50, 60 most of the time.
Yeah, in a town of 30,000. So your sign is everywhere.
It is.
And you guys are doing radio and billboards and all that?
No billboards, just radio or just television. We don't do radio right now. We're just doing TV. Radio and television experts. That's how I met you.
Shout out to Matt Wagner. Television. So with you have ads going with Barbara?
Yes, Barbara Corcoran. Yep.
Yes, good. So here's what I'm getting at is like we coach to doing this to recruit, doing that to putting job ads out, posting on social, making the calls. But if you've ever heard me talk about this, which I'm sure you have, but everyone else listening, you ever heard me talk about it, which I'm sure you have, but I say the number one way to recruit a bunch of agents, have a bunch of listings, sell a bunch of houses, right? Because then you got billboards everywhere. And the more houses that you sell, the more signs in the ground you have, the more inbound recruiting leads you will get. And when you call someone, tell me if this is true, they're kind of honored. So, wow, Lucy Ham is calling me? Is yes, they are honored. And yes. So like that benefit, that's a huge benefit, right? Not only selling more houses, but it's easier to recruit. Which one comes first? Well, for some people, selling a bunch of houses. For some people, I guess me too is selling a bunch of houses. So there you go. What advice do you have for real estate agents, not team leaders, but real estate agents, the average real estate agent listening to this? What advice do you have for those people?
So the best thing and the hardest thing is the schedule. And as I write my schedule Sunday night because I can see where I have to be. But then, of course, I fill in a lot of other stuff. But Sunday night, or like every night, I look at tomorrow, like, how do I need a dress for tomorrow? And I try to write down every hour what to do. And you know what? I rarely like do exactly what my schedule says, but at least it's visual, one spot. This is what I'm doing today. And if I don't do it here, I'm going to have to do it here, and vice versa. So the schedule is something I've learned a long time ago. And it includes, I never miss my kids' soccer games or dance recitals. It's all in there. It's all in there. Go to dinner with my husband, 5 o'clock tonight. I don't know where we're going, but we're going. So everything is in there. Yeah. Affirmations, 7 o'clock Friday morning. Role play, 7:30 Friday morning, just like everything. So
That is such good advice. That advice changed my life when I was a brand new agent, and I got that through a coaching program, right? I have wake up, I have eat, I have go to bed, I have eat again, I have take a walk, I have read, I have journal, right? Exercise, date night with my wife.
yeah, the agents I interview, almost, I think there might have been one or two so far that had a schedule at all.
Yeah. Well, it's not only agent, it's just people, right? Like, I think that level of organization and discipline probably, not probably, definitely frightens some people, right? But they don't understand that's the sacrifice you make if you want success.
I think that keyword discipline. I think the keyword discipline it is a discipline. Even to write it is a discipline, but it's mhm. Yeah. I mean, a discipline to not drink alcohol or to drink alcohol or eat too much or not eat too. I mean, it's all a discipline.
Yes, absolutely. Wake up early, go to bed early, right? Now, what advice do you have for the team leaders who are listening to this who want to create something awesome like you have?
Yeah. You know what? There's a great book that I have, How to Be a Great Boss by Jeffrey Fox. Every
I haven't
chapter is
heard of
one
it.
page. It's the one, expect and inspect, that kind of thing. That is a great book. You can just open it to any page and you'll do it tomorrow. But one of the things I think that we do well here is stop at every door every morning and, hey, what's at the top of your list today? Or what are you planning to do today? Or what are you excited about today? Just ask everybody a question so they know that you're in. You're in. You're watching. But you're not watching, but
Yes. That's such good advice. Isn't that what John talks about too?
he does. Yeah, I think he does.
Check in with your agents. And because that's what you're saying is you're re-recruiting your whole staff every day by showing that you give a damn. Right. That's such good advice. Lucy, if somebody wants to learn more about your business or send you a referral in Michigan, how do they do it?
Okay, so you know what? I think that my email is a good one to remember. Lucy, Lucy, at lucyham.com. One M in ham or I won't get it. Lucy at lucyham.com. Or my cell is 810-691-9566.
Yeah. So what's the name of all the markets that you guys cover out there?
Mid Michigan. I would say that's the best thing. Mid Michigan. And if we don't, we'll tell you like we don't, but we know somebody that does.
Perfect. So everybody who's listening and watching, if you got any business in Michigan, Lucy just dropped her cell phone number and her email. We'll also leave that in the description. Lucy, what are you excited about right now?
I'm excited about that. We are so busy. We can hardly have time to do all the things we need to do. It's exhilarating to me to be busy, to plan it, to give. The busier I am, the more I delegate. It helps me to learn how to delegate. Yeah.
Good. Awesome. What great advice. Thank you so much for being on. I definitely want to talk to you more soon. Everybody watching and listening, I hope you got something out of this episode. I did. I think Lucy's story is legendary, and that's just, I can't wait to see everything that they're doing. Still grinding it out, still in Reside, still listening to John on Monday, say KFR and all the stuff. So great. Everybody, if you did get something out of it, please like, share, and subscribe. And then we'll see you on the next episode of the Reside Platform Podcast. Bye-bye.